Okay, so here is a full install of the beaded weft, or weft with beads. So we're first going to make our part, make a clean, neat part. I'm working on my mannequin, so it's not perfect. But we take our first weft, measure, cut, clip each side to keep it in place while you're working. So here you take your first section. We're going to take a section, you're going to put your weft back in place and pull your section over the weft. Now you're going to take a small piece of the weft hair and a small piece of hair underneath. Make sure that it's neat and clean so that there's no extra hairs being pulled from each direction too far over, because that's going to cause tension and breakage. You're going to use your little loop tool and bead, which I will put the Amazon link down below so you can see what all the tools and supplies that I use. For these I use the silicone beads because I find that they hold the hair in place for this particular install. I use different beads for different methods, but for this one I use the silicone lined beads. Okay, let's do the top row. So for the top row I'm going to do a double weft. So basically you just put two wefts together and it's going to make it thicker, which you can do double wefts on every row if you want. You can just do one row with a double weft. I'm going to do a double one here just so you can see. Clip it in place. It's a little heavier, so it's a little bit harder to work with, but do the same thing. Take your section from the top, section from the bottom, section from the middle, and clamp them together. It's a little harder to keep my rows straight on this mannequin head, but you just keep going around the head, and then I'll make another video to show the corners, how I secure the edges. So you can see I always start from the middle of the head. I do that because it helps me keep the weft straight in place and even on both sides. I leave usually about 1/4 of an inch in between each bead, and then when I get to the edge, if I need to trim it, if it's too long or too short, then it's just easier for me. So I start from the middle, I go left, and then I go to the right. That way also, if it's too long on the end, you can always trim it. When you measure and cut it, always make it a little bit longer than you need, just in case, because you can always trim the edges when you get around to the side. So here I'm doing an edge, which I'll make a slower, more detailed version, but you can see that the last piece I do kind of at an angle so that it covers the corner. Then I take a tiny piece from the last two beads and put them together to make a triangle. I found that this keeps the edges from lifting, slipping, falling off, just keeps them in place. Thanks for watching.